All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Tuesday, December 17th. We have the finals of the NBA Cup. We have the Thunder taking on the Bucks. In today's video, I'm going to dive into this one. I'm going to give you my prediction on the side. I'll give you my prediction on the total. We'll talk about any other plays like player props that we like within this game as well. But as always, guys, keep an eye down on the pinned comment. That'll take you to our final play, so I'm actually rolling with myself, if that does interest you. In terms of yesterday, so we know on Sunday we had a 9-0 NFL day, we had a 3-0 NBA day, and I was like, all right, we're probably due for a stinker on Monday then, right? Right? That would make sense. Not so fast. A 5-0 Monday night in the NBA. Let's fire off the money gun. Let's go! 5-0. I mean, we're hot right now. Again, every time I say we're hot, at some point, the other shoe's going to drop, but not right now, I guess. We had Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson in an SGP, both to hit 2 threes. Tyler Hero made me sweat it out, but he ended up cashing the Cavs team total. He did it 2 different ways, one safer way and then one plus money way. They put up a bunch of points. Same thing with the Clippers. And then Vucevic, James Harden, and Norm Powell all hit their threes super early in their game. One more cha-ching. Run up the likes, guys. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. The fun doesn't stop there. More crowd noise from the soundboard. The ride of the day from Mauricio here comes in. It was Evan Mobley, over 23.5 points plus rebounds. Mobley looked a little slow out the gates. I was like, uh-oh, this one's not looking too great. He finished with, I believe it was 21-5, so he finished at 26 points plus rebounds. The ride of the day cashes. If you guys don't know what the ride of the day is, use that hashtag ride of the day in the comments. Give me your favorite play. I jump on board with one person's play each and every day. Give you a shout out in the next video, win or loss. Also shout you out over on my X and on the Guy Boston Sports site with the final plays. If you win, we continue to ride with your plays. If you lose, we got to talk about it. You still get the shout out, but we got to talk about a loss, right? So shout out to Mauricio here. Like I said, if you win, we continue to ride with your plays, so looking forward to seeing what Mauricio throws at us today. Everything's got to be inside -150 to qualify. But what do you say we jump into this game again? Thunder taking on the Bucks in the NBA Cup final. This should be a pretty damn good game. Right now, we have the Thunder -4.5, total sitting at 215.5. This Thunder team has looked very, very, very good defensively in the NBA Cup. So in their 6 games, in terms of points allowed, we have 83, 110, 93, 106, 104, 96. That shouldn't be all that shocking given the fact that the Thunder are allowing the fewest points so far this season in terms of opponents' points per game, and they're just one of the best defensive efficient teams, if not the best in the entire league, right? But this Milwaukee team's kind of sort of coming along. They're starting to play better basketball. In terms of their last 10 games here, they're 8-2. They're not covering all that well, but they've had some big numbers there, to be completely honest. So 5-5 against the spread in their last 10, but 8-2 overall. In NBA Cups, their defense hasn't been as good as the Bucks, but still very good in terms of points against: 85, 117, 103, 107, 109, 102. So it's been clear, at least to me thus far, that these two teams, having the NBA Cup be a game and whatnot, they take it seriously, maybe more serious than other teams, and up the defensive intensity. And that much is obvious because now they're playing in the finals. So yeah, I do think that we have somewhat of a grinded out type defensive game on our hands. Do I touch that total down at 215.5? Not exactly sure. Like, I think I would lean under, so I will say that. I don't know if I can get there myself because though we do have 2 very good defenses, and that's all I've talked about so far, right? You have 2 really good offenses. Like, you're talking Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's in this game, Damian Lillard's in this game, Giannis Antetokounmpo's in this game. Like, it's tough to be like, yeah, under all the way, right? So I do lean under because I'm trusting the defenses, but how many times, if you guys have been watching all year long, how many damn times has it been like, oh, I love these 2 good teams, 2 good defenses, and then we see like a 130 to 120 game just because the tempo got going, right? So yeah, I've been dumb on these ones before, but I will say I just can't see either team having an easy time scoring, so I'd feel like a fool to say, yeah, over all day long. The only thing, I guess, other than the players in the game, right, that are superstars that can go off for 40 themselves, other than that, the only thing would be that, well, that total is just very, very low, right? Like, if we look at these 2 teams, and obviously they're not all cup games, but to that line individually, The Bucks, if that was their line in their last 10 games, they would have hit the over in 8 of their last 10. And the Thunder would have hit it in 6 of their last 10, in 5 of their last 6 also. So, yeah, that's my only kind of hesitation there, but I'm still going to ride with it in terms of a lean. I just don't know if we get there ourselves. Under the 215.5. Now, before we do get to our spread pick, guys, I do want to say one thing. You guys have been super, super supportive on the channel so far, obviously in all these years, but it's really hitting me now that we're back on the main channel, how amazingly supportive you guys have been, you know, with the new channel and whatnot. When we were down and not posting here, had to move over and were forced to move over to the More Guy Boston Sports channel, the views stayed relatively the same and all that, so I did want to just take one quick second and say, like, seriously, thank you. I know I do that all the time at the end of videos and everything like that, because I know at the end of videos, that's when the real ones are watching, the people that actually care. But because it's the NBA Cup game, because we only have one cup, I figured only have one game in this game, this slate. I figured it wouldn't hurt to just take 2 minutes and say, like, truly, truly thank you. I know a lot of creators, myself included, say thank you all the time, but I truly don't take any of this for granted. And the fact that we had all that BS with this channel that we're now back on, went over to the new one and started posting the same content there, and you guys just supported it like nothing changed. Seriously, like, that means so much to me. I say it all the time. I'm just the one with the camera and the microphone. You guys are truly the gear that makes this thing turn. So I do appreciate it. I don't mean to get all sappy and teary-eyed in the middle of the video, but I did just really want to say thank you. But let's talk some spread here. So the spread is at -4.5. That's a tough one, because I think this Bucks team is kind of turning a corner. Like I said, 8-2 in their last 10 games. They've looked good, though they haven't covered. They've had some big spreads to cover, so I'm not really holding that against them. And they've looked very good in the Cup games. Do you know what I mean? Like, have they had to play the toughest of schedules? Maybe not. They played Atlanta, Detroit, Miami, Orlando, Toronto. Am I missing anyone there? Atlanta, Indiana, Detroit, Miami, Toronto. I'm missing a couple. But either way, not exactly the toughest of schedules. The Thunder, on the other hand, honestly have had to play a tough schedule. In terms of their Cup games here, they've played Phoenix, Dallas, Houston out of 3 of their 6 games. So I do think the Thunder may have the upper hand here in terms of just, one, being the better team, but also fitting this type of a game more. This game probably means a little bit more to the young guys on that team and stuff too, versus some of the veterans like Dame and Giannis. And just to throw into the mix some stats here that kind of support it. Well, both of these teams are very good defensively. I already mentioned, right? The Bucks getting better and better. The Thunder, literally potentially the best defense in the league. But 2 things I want to know. 1, the Thunder are going to shoot a lot of threes. The Bucks, middle of the pack team in terms of preventing threes. Have they started to lock up a lot more? Yeah. Last 3 games, they are the 6th best team. But their last 3 games, they played Brooklyn, Orlando, and Atlanta. Teams that do get to the paint, right? So, yeah, I'm not giving them too much credit. On the season, middle of the pack in terms of defending the 3. But both of these teams are very, very good at defending the paint. The Thunder do like to score in the paint. This year they have the 10th most points from the paint, but they have the ability to score from 3, 5th most in terms of points from 3 per game. And in the last 10 games, they're averaging, they're averaging the 7th most field goal attempts from 3. So I think the perimeter ends up winning this one for the Thunder. Obviously, both teams have the ability to get to the paint. You have Giannis and Dame on one end, and then Shea and company on the other end. I just think that the Bucks actually do have a decent paint defense. So, yeah, Shea getting to the paint and everyone else, like, they might not have as good of a time, but Shea can get into the paint and kick it out and hit someone for a 3 plenty is kind of how I picture this going. And if need be, he'll shoot them as well. So, yeah, this is a very, very tight one. Like I said, not all that much to even go on, because I think that the Bucks are turning a corner. So if you're on the Bucks here and you hear me say this, I really wouldn't sit there and go, oh my God, Ev's on the Thunder, I have to switch. No, like, you can make an argument for both teams in this spot, and I know you guys don't like in the comments when I say that type of thing, but I think it's totally true. So, but I'm going to go with the Thunder because of that perimeter battle. I think that they're going to win this one. The only thing I think the Bucks can really dominate here, and they aren't even that great of a rebounding team themselves, but this Thunder team has not been a very good rebounding team, like, whatsoever. I think they're second to last so far this season in terms of rebounding rates. So, yeah, that's kind of going to be a problem when you have Giannis. But it's Giannis and then who? right? Like Brook Lopez isn't battling for boards. Portis will come in and really be feisty and whatnot, but it's just going to be Giannis. So that kind of brings us to a player prop here, which by the way, guys, the screen you're about to see is called Outlier. I have a link in the pinned comment, 7 days free. It's my favorite player prop research tool. But yeah, the first prop I'm looking at is going to be Giannis over 11.5 rebounds. Again, I'm not exactly sure who on this team is going to compete with him in terms of the Bucks players, right? And then you throw in the fact that this OKC team, yeah, look at this. Rebounds per game allowed, second most this entire season. Now, to centers, to power forwards, it doesn't look all that terrible. It's a lot of, point guard and small forward action, but Giannis doesn't have a position, right? Like, they're not gonna have someone in there being like, oh, I'm the power forward, I'll stop Giannis. He'll get rebounds if rebounds are to be gotten, you know what I mean? So I do think that he can go out there and get 12 rebounds. He had 19 last time he played OKC last year. My one little gripe here is that, okay, well, he's only averaging 11.4 rebounds per game this season, right? Like, that isn't exactly the most, yeah, hoorah, sound the parade, like, let's go and take this one. He should play a lot of minutes in this one, right? So obviously things are going to get a little bit better the more and more minutes he plays, but still, he's finished at 11 plenty of times. So that is, I guess, somewhat of a cause for concern here, but to me, there's no one that should be competing with Giannis. So yes, I will admit this is a spot in which he doesn't necessarily have the hit rate or the data on the season, but to me, it should be a very, very good matchup for him. So I like Giannis over 11.5 rebounds, and then another player prop I'm considering, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over 5.5 assists. You can see how he's been doing on the season, 52% of games. When he does play a lot of minutes, 67%, which again, this is an NBA Cup game. He should be playing a lot of minutes, and he's finishing at 5 plenty of times, right? In games that he's played 35 minutes, he's had 14.5 potential assists. We're only looking for 6 assists here, and like I just mentioned, I do think that lane, the one thing that Milwaukee may be able to do is clog that lane, meaning Shai's going to get in there and hopefully dump it off, hopefully pass it out and everything like that. Now, one thing I mentioned, I just thought of it when I thought about dumping off, this Thunder team rebounding-wise has definitely gotten, I guess you could say, a decent amount better with Hartenstein in there, but still, I think Giannis is going to dominate at least the rebounding, especially in the defensive end for the Bucks. So yeah, when I said no one can compete with him, I'm almost thinking Bucks exclusively. I really don't think that, if you told me Hartenstein or Giannis, go get that rebound, I'm pretty sure I'm still taking Giannis. But either way, like, yeah, there are some dogs on the Thunder that are going to fight for boards. But I think I think the Bucks, it's going to be Giannis, and then pretty much Giannis getting the rebounds. Bobby Portis will come in, but still, Brook Lopez is averaging what? Let's see if we can pull that up really quickly. Like, the center of this team, and it's much to do because of Giannis, but that just makes the point even more, right? The center of this team, let's see if we can find it. You can use Outlier just to check stats too. We'll go to his rebounding line, 4.5. This season, he's averaging 4.92. You know what I mean? On 10.9 chances. So this should be a decent spot to look at Giannis. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this one. If you made it this far in the video, go ahead and comment 12. You made it past the 12-minute mark. I do truly appreciate it. Make sure to go check out Outlier, 7-day trial, link in the pinned comment and the description. But I'm rolling with the Thunder minus the 4.5 in terms of leans right now. Keep an eye on the pinned comment. It'll take you to GuyBostonSports.com for the final plays. I like the Thunder minus the 4.5 points. I really don't mind that under, but again, these are really two good offenses, even though the defenses are so good. And then from a player prop perspective, I like Giannis over 11.5 rebounds, as well as Shai over 5.5 assists. Maybe there's something that we can do same game parlay-wise where Giannis gets 8+ rebounds and Shai gets 4+ assists. I'm not sure what the juice would be on that, but that could be something that we roll with as well. But again, guys, we are in somewhat of a groove right now, right? This was our NBA last night. We had a couple nights ago, like I already mentioned, a 9-0 NFL night on Sunday. That same night, we had a 3-0 night in the NBA. So, yeah, losing is obscure right now. We don't even know what it feels like, which if you guys have watched for years, you know for certain we know what losing feels like. So, it's just not happening as of right now, but I'm not complaining. Anyone listening, I'm not complaining. But, guys, that's all for me. I'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.